Wait, are you giving this a better review because your wife works for Kendall Jackson?
Oh, no.
Or wait, do I like it because one of my friends is a chef for Kendall Jackson?
Actually, it's when I saw that the wines were both in the Jackson family portfolio, so like, oh no, pick another brand.
I have to go to holiday dinners with these people.
Oh man, I sure hope I like them.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 11th episode of Cellar Rats and the Cellar Rats, your second favorite, one of the shows you watch on YouTube or whatever.
In the double digits now.
It's
Nice. Feels good.
I'm Jesse Inman.
I'll be Aaron Inman all episode. So today is the inaugural installment of the review of the reviews.
But what exactly does that mean?
Well, if you shut the up, maybe I would tell you.
I was literally just being nice and asking. I don't care.
Overstepped my boundaries and apologize.
Accept it.
So, wine critics, third-party reviews, websites, opinions, buttholes. Everyone's got them. So,
True. I have two.
but do they always line up? Do they mean anything? We're going to tell you what we think. We're going to do 2 wines today, and we're going to review them versus the reviews that they've already received more critically and publicly.
And I would imagine you'll be able to find our reviews on the back of an adult magazine, if those still exist.
So we've been in the wine business for a while now, our entire adult lives. I mean, we're only 23 and 24 years old, but it feels like longer than that.
I am a man-child.
And over that time, we know that wine reviews, critic reviews, help your wine brand succeed. It's an unfortunate truth, or maybe a fortunate truth. It just depends, I guess, on how they've treated you.
Yeah, and depending on who's reviewing us, what score we get, what mood we're in, we're like, is this full of shit? Or is this legit? Who do you trust? Who don't you trust? And so, is it a pay to play? You know, I've heard all the above. And so we figured we're gonna review your review. We're gonna review your review.
Up in here?
Yeah.
In that time we've been in the wine business, we've worked at August Briggs Winery in Calistoga. We had our own brand, Roma Lily, for 10 plus years. We had Lucky Rock since 2013 now. And we've gotten our host of scores.
Yep.
Some good, some not so good, some super inconsistent and confusing.
Sometimes I'll go into the store and I'll think, like, I've never had this wine, and maybe it's a newer variety, so I might trust the score or something. But
You're looking for a third-party endorsement.
yeah, but can you trust what they say?
It does depend on your philosophy of how you look at wine too. It is an aesthetic thing, so putting a number and a rating on an aesthetic thing
Well, for
is
example,
hard.
you think rating a wine's color. Who gives a shit about color as long as it tastes good and smells good, right?
I didn't until you told me I should. There was actually a woman from a winery in Washington that she bottled the same wine under 2 labels, but stated that the winemaker was male on one of them, and she was the winemaker on the other one. And the one that was reviewed by the label that had stating the man as the winemaker actually scored like 6 or 7 points higher.
Oh.
So it can get kind of crazy. We're not conspiracy theorists, but it is a little bit of a bullshit situation sometimes. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna taste a couple wines today and add a little our own context to it.
Yeah. You judge me, I'll judge you.
You judge me? Well, I'm gonna blog about it and I'm gonna put it on the internet where you can never fucking punch me in the face.
I hope you have a budget to sue me for defamation.
So almost every critic uses some version of like a 10-point scale or a 100-point scale. It was really Robert Parker in the mid-70s that powerhoused the 100-point scale. There's the 5 puffs, the 5 magic stars. The crazy thing about the 100-point scale, though, is that if you get an 80 on the 100-point scale, that's all people focus on. But if you get 4 out of 5 stars,
exactly.
people are like, that's pretty good.
I mean, but that's basically an 80%, but you're less likely to drink an 80% wine or 80-point wine, but yet you'll drink a 4 out of 5 wine. It's all psychological.
It's psychological. It's really trippy. And at the end of the day, a lot of this, I think, is not so much about like overly criticizing the critics. I mean, we're going to do some of that because it's fun, right? Yeah. And it's going to get tons of subscribes and likes and shares. But at the end of the day, it's really more about getting you, the people, the audience, the common folks, to try more wines. You know, don't be afraid of that wine that scored 88 points that you're buying for $19.99 at a local store called Oliver's.
What's our concept here? What are we doing with these?
So today we're going to taste two wines that are on both sides of the spectrum.
So higher scoring and lower
Higher scoring, lower scoring. We don't know which one is which, but we're going to taste them.
Know.
We're going to taste them. If you've seen our wine hacks episode,
1,000.
we are super good at tasting stuff. All right, so for wine number one, we're going to try La Crema Pinot Noir, Willamette Valley, 2018. You can find this wine a lot of places. It's pretty widespread.
Pretty good.
Around $30 is the price point. I can tell you right off the bat, we talked a little bit of on color on Pinot Noir earlier, but this color is beautiful. It's like garnet. Nice nose.
And color is attached to pH. So if you have a higher pH in the wine, which means there's a little bit less acid, you get more purples. And if you have a lower pH, which is more stronger acid, then you get more heavy, like intense reds. It smells pretty dang good.
It's good. It's got some earthiness, some spiciness, some fruitiness. It's a little richer than sometimes I associate with Willamette Valley. I think that I would give this wine probably a solid 90. I'm going to go with a 90.
I give it a Point Break more than a Tombstone. You know what I mean?
No, I have no fucking clue.
Neither do I.
No, but it's good. Like I said, it's got Pinot characteristics. It smells like Oregon. It's a richer version of Oregon than I'm used to, but it's nice. And especially
it's nice. It's a nice wine.
$30, it's pretty tasty.
Good weight.
And we all have things that we weight higher when we're tasting something. For me, I really like the mouthfeel, the texture of wines, and this really has a kind of a velvety, nice texture. And I'm giving that a 90 versus like maybe an 89, 88 because it has this texture that I really find enjoyable.
And I'm gonna give it's pretty good.
Qualitative, nice.
Yeah. This is a 2017 Carmel Road Monterey Pinot Noir. Again, it's made by the same family as the La Crema, so they're in this kind of the same umbrella. This is dubbed as a green wine, and I think it's a vegan wine is what they tout. And so, again, it's a little bit lower price point, so that might have some influence on.
You're gonna find
ratings.
it somewhere between $15 and $25 depending on the retailer.
So,
and it's in a screw cap.
And it's a screw cap. Yep. Right off the bat, we were talking on color. Color should not necessarily dictate the score, but at the same time, if something looks like it might be wrong with the wine because it's a little oxidized.
Yeah, it's not that this wine, it looks a little beat up in the glass. It's a 2017, so it's got one more year on the La Crema, but at the end of the day, I think it's showing a little premature oxidation, possibly.
But if this was a Nebbiolo, that color would be perfectly fine, right?
Yeah. And that's why when we were saying earlier that like it's not that color doesn't matter, it just the score shouldn't be a wine with a weak. If this wine has got a palate and a nose, it's amazing, and the color's a little bit off, so be it. At the end of the day, this color is showing some stuff in the nose too.
Color is correlated to quality in some form or fashion.
This has a little bit of like this. It's kind of got that strawberry rhubarb kind of nose to it, but then it's got a little bit of those kind of dirty, earthy.
I would guess this is less wood barrels and more wood products like staves.
The wood product seems a little disjointed from the wine itself.
Yeah, and sometimes screw caps can make things a little bit disjointed tasting at first too. If they open up a little bit, it can kind of mellow out.
And how I really loved the texture of the first wine. This one's got a little bit more of a watery mouthfeel, and it's a little bit more like prickly.
Yeah. I wonder if the alcohol, this one's 13.5 alcohol. Do you have the alcohol on that one?
14.5, so 1%.
Oh, this is SIP certified also, so that's sustainability. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why you might get a little bit more of a watery characteristic because it has a little bit lighter alcohol, which means there's less glycerol content in the wine, so you'll have a softer, lighter mouthfeel typically. Well, maybe not softer, but a lighter, less sweet mouthfeel from a lower alcohol wine.
So overall, this wine it's not It's not flawed. Maybe a little bit of premature oxidation.
But it doesn't really.
But it's a little underwhelming.
It doesn't blow my socks off, so to speak.
Yeah, and for me, if I'm gonna stick with my scoring, I would probably give this wine. I like to use the true 100-point score, where like if I hate this damn thing, it's failing. I'm gonna give this a 79.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. It's all right.
So there was good and bad here, right? This wine had a texture that we really liked, the aromatics. It reminded us of the area it was from. The other wine, it wasn't bad. It just was a little lean, a little washed out, not that, memorable. Well, turns out we were actually more in line with the critics on this one than, not that we didn't think we would be, but we just discovered that we are. The La Crema was scoring between 90 and 93 points with most critics. Whereas the Carmel Road was scoring more like between 83 and 87 with the critics. And
solid wine, but I wouldn't, or decent wine, but I wouldn't rush out and grab it if I didn't have a necessity for it. It's okay.
And the Willamette Valley Pinot Noir, I would say go get yourself some of this. Yeah. Pretty tasty for $30.
Yeah, more good.
So at the end of the day, our review of the reviews, decent job reviews. So, thank you for joining us on episode number 11, the first installment of Cellar Rats and the Cellar Rats review of the reviews.
And if you have any wines that you would like us to review, shoot it in the comments, and we will pull them, taste them, and then we'll see what other people said about them, and see if they agree with you, and see if they agree with us.
Thank you for joining us on this episode number 11. Cheers.
Catch you on the old flip side of Rooney.
Bye-bye. See ya on the next episode.